Hello, just a quick book review. This one is Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. And the annotation says, "What if you only had one day to live?" And on the front it says, "Heartbreakingly good, up there with Alice Sebold's The Lovely Bones, Impossible to Forget." And that was by News of the World. And I'd heard a few people sort of raving about this book, which is technically young adult. So I thought I would give it a go. And there's lots of good on the back. I like that that's the front, like the grass, and then it kind of continues. It says, "This book will take your breath away." That's She magazine. "Hugely moving, an extremely clever and well-written novel that is ultimately uplifting." That's Heat magazine. The Sun said, "Brave and insightful." Nair magazine said, "This tale of second chances will have you clinging onto your Kleenex." Thebookbag.co.uk, I must look that up, says, "If you only read one book this year, it should be this one." And wondrousreads.com, must look that up too, says, "It made me realise that life is precious and that every single choice we make has an effect." And then there's this weird thing on the back which I couldn't get to work, and I don't know whether you can see, it's on there, this thing here, and it says, "Scan with your mobile to watch the moving trailer," but I couldn't get it to work with my mobile, so I don't quite know what that's all about. Anyway, so yeah, I got mine, this logo here, I got mine in the buy one get one half price from WH Smith, so the RRP is $6.99, so I guess I got two for £10, so yeah. So it is that thick, and that thick, and it is, the actual book itself is 339 pages, but then there's an epilogue at the end which lasts a page. Then there's the acknowledgements page, and then at the end there are 3 or 4 pages of an excerpt from Lauren Oliver's next book, which is called Delirium. So I don't know whether I just have too high hopes for this book, but I sometimes think that's the trouble with hype, isn't it? It works against you. I think it was so hyped and so talked about and so kind of revered, as it were, that I was a bit disappointed by it. I mean, it was clever, and I thought the idea was really clever, and it was quite well written, but just there were points where it just seemed to go on and on about nothing in particular. And I don't know, it just didn't seem to live up to all the hype to me. I mean, it was a good book, and it was readable, but I don't know, it wasn't what I hoped it would be, I think, is what I'm trying to say. It certainly, to me, wasn't up there with Alice Sebold's The Lovely Bones. And I would love to know what anyone else who's read it thought of it. I'd love to know whether you agree with me or with that remark. So comment below and let me know. To me, the idea had so much more potential. It had potential to be so much more than it actually delivered. I don't know. Anyway, it says, it says insightful and take your breath away, and I don't know, it just didn't. But as I say, maybe it was just me, and maybe my expectations were too high, but it was readable, and it was okay, but it just wasn't great. So I do love the colour. I think the cover is fab, and if I come up a bit closer you can see it's like a girl's face in the grass, and if I can get this to focus in the colour of the eyes, and if I maybe turn it around so you can see, the colour of the eyes is really, really cool. It's like a greeny blue. So yeah, as I say, I would love to know what anybody else thought of it. So comment below and let me know. And not sure what I just did with it. I left it out in the hall. I am just starting to read this one, Nicholas Crow's The History of Love. And I am 6-7 pages in, so far so good. So there's my really naff bookmark. It's the tour flyer for this year's Fairport Convention tour. And yeah, if you look, Wednesday the 24th was at my favourite music venue, so yeah. Anyway, as I say, if you've read this book, comment below and let me know what you thought. Indeed, this will probably be my next review, but if you've read this one, comment below because I'd love to know what you think of this. So, yeah. I've just realised I didn't actually read the back before I fall there, did I? So I'll read the blurb on the back. It says, "They say to live every day as if it's your last, but you never actually think it's going to be. You always think you'll have more time. That's what I thought, but I was wrong. The thing is, you don't get to know when it happens. You don't remember to tell your family that you love them, or, in my case, remember to say goodbye to them at all. What if, like me, you could live your last day over again? Could you make it perfect? If your whole life flashed before your eyes, would you have any regrets? Are there things you'd want to change?" So that kind of sums up what the book's about. So yeah, comment below and let me know what you thought, and I shall speak to you soon. Bye.